Good evening, everybody. I want to go ahead and start us off at 7 o'clock. Be respectful of everybody's time. First of all, thank everybody that made it out tonight. It's good to see parent turnout to these things. Just going to give you all a quick overview of the process that we use to review this, and we're just going to go ahead and show you guys the videos that are being recommended to be presented to the board for 4th and 5th grade elementary maturation. If y'all want to grab the QR code off there will be a link tree with some additional resources. You can say it's got a copy of the presentation, shows the TEKS, and it'll have transcripts of the videos as well. The videos are copyrighted, so I just will mention that it's not record over or anything like that if possible. The transcripts, Jen, just to be sure, the transcripts, since they're available on the link tree, those are those under?
So they'll be available during the meetings, and then they will be available after our 2 meetings through Skyward Family Access because they have to be protected.
Okay, did y'all hear that? Okay, so I'll repeat that. Just a quick intro of who we are as a committee. The Chase Committee within the School Health Advisory Committee is comprised of Tony Kamen, who's our SHAC chair, Bonnie Scott from the MacArthur cluster, myself, Ben Elliott from the Madison cluster, Diana Parker here, the Chase vice chair from Reagan cluster, Ron Scheibe, he's our SHAC vice chair, he couldn't make it tonight, Christy Burgett, Churchill cluster, Sean Metcalf, our clergy community member, Katie Steinhoff, NEISD Health Instructional Specialist, and Emma Kelly, the NEISD Health Services Director, and Marisol Madden, member of the business community from the Churchill cluster. So TEKS really is the guideline that we have to follow in order for recommending any age-appropriate curriculum to be taught in health in the schools. So Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills is what TEKS stands for. It's written by the TEA and adopted by the State Board of Education as the general guidelines for what classroom curriculum I guess has to teach, what skills the students have to be able to demonstrate having learned. It talks about the student expectations, ability to describe the specific knowledge or skill, and or demonstrate. So violence prevention TEKS also overlap into the HSAE strand. You'll notice there are some within the 5th grade level, there are a couple of TEKS that do talk about dating relationships and sexual violence, human trafficking. We're not dealing with any of those tonight. Right now we're just talking about the maturation. Also, as always, all of the HSE classes in NEISD are opt-in, which means it takes active participation in order for your child to receive the class. Active permission. All right, this is kind of an outline of how elementary maturation has historically been taught within NEISD. It's optional, as I just mentioned, requires active permission from the parents to opt their child in. It's not opt-out. The difference is if it was opt-out and you forgot to opt out, they would just go. If you forget to opt in, they don't go. It's presented once a year to 4th and 5th grade students in gender-specific groups. Historically, from what I understand, girls in 4th grade, girls only received girls instruction, boys only received boys, and then in 5th grade, they were still separate, but they both learned both. The TEKS, the new TEKS, are worded as such that it seems like the recommendation is going to be for boys and girls to learn about boys and girls, but still separated. It's a 1-hour pull-out session using mainly video-based curriculum, which we're going to preview tonight, and given by the school nurse. Here's a quick, I don't know if I'll be able to zoom, I can't zoom in on this. You can see it in the link tree if you want to be able to read it closer. The 4th grade TEK that we're dealing with tonight is TEK 20 on anatomy, puberty, and reproduction. The student must identify adolescent development, and the student is expected to explain changes that occur in males and females during puberty and adolescent development, and then B, to define the menstrual cycle. So that's all we're trying to hit on for 4th grade. Then strand 22 here, as I mentioned, 22, A, B, C, and D, and E. I won't read them all out loud, but that's what we're dealing with tonight. Teak 20 for 5th grade, which is healthy relationships, and Teak 21, which talks about boundaries, sexual harassment, abuse, trafficking, etc. Those teaks are not being, we don't have any materials right now to present, they're still being reviewed for those teaks. Again, there's a QR code for the resources. And again, if y'all want to tell me your friends if they want to catch this meeting, we'll be giving the same meeting, same place, same time tomorrow. Outside of that, we're going to go ahead and jump into, so Marsh Media is the company that we opted to look at. It was a suggestion of one of our employee members, as well as some of us in the committee decided to check what other Texas school districts are using for their elementary maturation, and Marsh Media was one that seems to be commonly used. We reviewed several of their videos. There were a couple different options. They were called Puberty, A Girl's Journey, and Puberty, A Boy's Journey. Then Straight Talk is what you're going to see. Straight Talk for boys and Straight Talk for girls was for what were recommended for 5th grade. And Meet the New You is what we're recommended for 4th grade. So I'm just going to go ahead and play them in order. So Meet the New You for boys. This is 4th grade boys. I didn't mention at the beginning of the meeting, but this tonight, since we're showing so much video content, there's not going to be like a Q&A forum, but there is a form through that link tree. If you do want to submit questions, it'll be live on there. Do you want to need a bathroom break, or want to keep charging on? Okay. All right, so this will be moving into the 5th grade Straight Talk Puberty. This is the rules. Straight Talk Girls, 5th grade. Alright, so the last one we're going to show you all is this video. We're only going to play the first 5 minutes section of this. A baby is born. The suggestion on this is to cover the material that's in Teak 22D and 22E, which are to define the process of fertilization and reproduction, as well as identify significant milestones of fetal development, which is missed in the previous video. So we're going to show the first 4 minutes and 57 seconds of this video we're proposing to meet those 2 points in the T. Right.
This is a good time. If you want to submit any feedback, if you're seeing the link tree, this would be a good time. SHAC.
We will.
And the responses will still be posted on there, so everybody can see the responses. So hopefully the same questions are asked. All right, give it a chance. It stays.
And stopping this as far as the recommendation. I what you had asked about who answers the question made me want to, the Q&A form made me want to reiterate too, that if y'all do have any comments to address to the full SHAC, the link on here to the SHAC webpage will take you to our email. If you email that SHAC@neisd.net, every member of the full SHAC will receive that email and have an opportunity to respond. Also, at this point, we're just bringing this recommendation to be voted on by the full SHAC to ultimately be presented and approved or not approved by the Board of Trustees. Just to kind of go through what that timeline would look like, the goal is to have the instruction in classrooms to start in May 1st through May 17th. That is if we're able to get to a full SHAC recommendation in February in order to present to the Board of Trustees in March. That's the potential timeline for this. Anything?
I would just say your feedback, any feedback submitted on that form is shared with full SHAC and the Board of Trustees before any recommendations are made. And that information will be public. We will hide email addresses, so you won't be able to see that publicly. But that way you can go on and look and see what other people have asked and see the questions and the responses that the SHAC committee has put on it.
Additionally, the transcripts of the video that are available through Linktree will be there through the end of the public meeting window, which is basically at the end of tomorrow night, at which time they will be on Skyward. Or
Hopefully.
okay.
So we will, I probably have to get my comment.
We're gonna keep them available there until the MIS department can get them posted on Skyward Family Access, so we won't take them off of the Linktree until we know that you have access to them on Skyward. I don't wanna speak for them for when they're gonna get that done, but we'll just make sure it's that way. We do, once they are there, we have to take them off for copyright, but we'll make sure they're available. And then we will post the presentation, the meeting video, all of that will also be posted on the SHAC webpage. So even if you weren't here, you can see some of that. And we will have links to trailers of these videos. We can post that, but we can't post the entire video.
Alright. Thank you all again for coming, and we do appreciate all y'all's time put in to assist us with this process. So y'all have a great night.